Hello and welcome to Limitless Metal YouTube channel. So, this is the first long format video that I'm uploading here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about how we can turn this blurry paper into a beautiful metal print. So you may have seen some of my short content here on the channel and wondered, how is it possible to actually make a metal print? A lot of people have been printing their images on metal over the last few years, and I thought I'd make a video showing you how this process takes place. So the first step, of course, is printing the image. Now, this image is printed on 8.5 by 14 heat transfer paper using an Epson sublimation printer. The first thing to note about making these metal prints is you can't use a regular inkjet printer. It does have to be special ink on special paper. So if you want a full video about the printer and the settings used to actually get the print, make sure to let me know in the comments. I'm happy to do that for you. But once you get it all printed out, a lot of people do trim the edges, this kind of white space here and over here, to just shorten up the amount of paper. Now, I'm not going to be doing that in this tutorial just because this paper does fit on the heat press that I have, and I like to have a little bit of extra room when securing the metal to the paper. Now, speaking of the metal, we're going to set the paper off to the side for just a second and get our piece of metal. Now, as you can see here, this is an 8 by 12 Chromolux sheet of aluminum ready for the transfer process. So you can get these online from different suppliers, but the first step is going to be peeling off the protective layer. So if I can get this started here, each one of these metal prints comes with a kind of white clear tape over the top. You can see here just getting it started, and you have to remember to peel this off. If you skip this step, it will not work. So let me get this peeled off here. And another thing to note when peeling this off is you don't want to touch the spot that you've just opened up. So keep that in mind if you are following along or making metal prints on your own, that you don't want to touch the print once that tape is off. So I'll go ahead and remove the rest of this protective covering. And once that's done, what you'll want to do is just take a quick look at the print. Make sure there's nothing on it, no dust, dirt, anything like that. Just kind of give it a good look and make sure everything's looking good, because you don't want to have any dirt or anything in there when you press the heat onto it. So now that we've got the covering off of our print here, what we're going to do is actually go ahead and bring back the photo on the heat transfer paper. And what you'll do is take the white glossy side, in this case it's a glossy white print, you're going to put that face down on the paper. What you're then going to do is just do your best to line everything up with that metal sheet. Now you'll notice that I do have a little bit of an edge around the whole picture. So if I lift it up ever so slightly here, nothing's taped down quite yet, but you can see that there is a little bit of bleed around the entire print. That is by design, and that allows for that borderless look that you see on these metal prints. Then what you're going to go ahead and do is tape everything down using heat tape. Now again, similar to the printer and the paper, you don't want to use regular tape. You want to use specific heat tape that is designed to be in the heat press and not melt. So if you don't have the heat tape, you can get it on Amazon or other suppliers fairly cheap and sent over. So now what we're going to do, that we've got everything taped down and aligned, we're going to get the heat press started up and up to temperature, and we'll be back to heat press this in just a minute. Now, when we're waiting for the heat press to heat up, we have two additional pieces here that we have to assemble to make this print complete. That is going to be the float mount hanger. So as you can see here, this is just another thin piece of aluminum similar to what the panel itself is made of, with that kind of sawtooth hanger there that you can see, but it's basically the same on both sides. And then it comes with this about half-inch piece of wood with two pieces of double-sided tape. Of course, it's already stuck to the piece of wood, but what we first want to do here is peel off the piece of paper here and get it stuck to that float mount. And then, of course, the other side will go onto the metal print. So let's get this assembled here. I'm just getting the piece of paper peeled off camera here. Okay, and with that peeled off, you can see that we have the tape. That's what it looks like peeled versus the other side not being peeled. What you want to go ahead and do is basically just line this up in the center. It should line up fairly well with the sawtooth. And then, of course, right at the bottom there, what this is going to do is give us that nice half-inch float off of the wall and give the print a nice drop shadow. What I like to do is just push on this for a little while, give it some pressure to bond to that metal, ensuring that nothing separates once it's up on the wall. Okay, so now that the heat press is warmed up, what we're going to go ahead and do is take our print that we taped to the paper here, flip it over so the ink is facing down towards the bottom of the heat press, and the actual print, the metal blank, is facing upwards. Now, for this piece of Chromolux metal, it is recommended to use medium pressure at 400 degrees for 70 to 90 seconds. So what I do is I have it set just 1 or 2 degrees up above here at 401 for 80 seconds right in the middle. The reason I have it a little bit higher is because this is going to cool down as soon as it touches that colder piece of metal. So what we'll go ahead and do is compress this in the heat press. And in this case, my heat press has an automated timer. Now you may notice there is a little bit of smoke coming out of it. That is completely normal. It does smell a little bad, but with that, it's just kind of part of the process. So we'll let this go ahead and cook for another 60 seconds here, and then come back to see the final print. And just like that, the print is now complete. So we have to wait for this to cool off since it was just in the 400 degree heat press. You definitely don't want to be grabbing this with your bare hands. So we'll let that cool off and then get it taken off of the paper and see what the final print looks like. Okay, so now that the print is cooled off, I've gone ahead and removed the heat tape. So what we're going to go ahead and do is flip this over to see the final result, which, as you can see here, is a beautiful print of an image I like to call Smokey Ocean. Now, we want to make sure that we clean this off. The print, when it comes out, has a little bit of a film, so what I usually do is just take a damp microfiber cloth, which was just dampened with water, nothing else, and just give it a quick wipe down. It really helps kind of bring out the shine in the image once it's been printed on the metal. Now, what's nice about Chromolux metal is they say you can actually use any household cleaner on these prints, even once the print is done. But personally for me, I find that just regular filtered water and a microfiber cloth does the trick. So why use chemicals when you can get away with just a little bit of water? So the final step now will be to finish the mounting process. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of our piece of paper here. As you can see, the faded ink with that little bit of a border around it. But that is all done. So now what we'll go ahead and do is just go ahead and lay this down flat here. And if you remember from a few minutes ago, we have our wood half-inch float mount hanger to finish putting on. So we'll go ahead and peel the other side of that stick so that we have something to grab onto the back there. And as you can see, this is fully bonded to that sawtooth metal hanger here. But now what we'll go ahead and do is line this up right in the middle of the print. And once it looks like everything is lined up, you can go ahead and do the same thing, just in reverse. Apply a little bit of pressure to this wood mount, giving that tape a few seconds to actually bond to the metal print. But once that's done, as you can see, we are now fully ready to hang this. I can hold it by just one finger there, similar to how it would be on the wall. And we are done with this metal print. So, hopefully you were able to learn something about sublimation with metal prints today in this video. Now, if you like this print and would like to get a copy of it for your home, this is available on my website, which is linked in the comments and in the bio of this YouTube channel. So, there's a great collection of other prints there as well, but if you still have questions about sublimation, such as things about the printer, the heat press, anything else, make sure to leave a comment down below. I'm looking to build a community here to help people get started making prints like this one, and I would love to help answer any questions. So thank you so much for watching this video. Again, please consider subscribing and liking this video. It really does help out here and allow us to provide this content for free for you here on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video. Bye.